Hi again, we're back for another CSA unboxing. This is episode number 3, and CSA of course stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And I'll just open up the box, and if you will recall, basically what this is a box full of produce goodies that we get from our local farm, and it's all organic. And so let's see what we have this week. Okay, let's see. Okay, we've got some, these are heirloom tomatoes. So there are 3 heirloom tomatoes here. One's a small one, and one's a bigger one. And these will be great for caprese salad, which is one of my favorite things during summer when we have ripe tomatoes. And tomatoes are seasonal, so if you're getting tomatoes out of season, the flavor won't be the same. And so one thing I want to caution you about, a big mistake that a lot of people make, and that you'll see in a lot of restaurants where you get flavorless and odd tasting tomatoes, is people put them in the fridge. You definitely don't want to have your tomatoes stored in the fridge. Some of the things that can happen is the cold, at a certain temperature, the membranes inside of the tomato burst from the cold, and that creates this odd mealy kind of texture, and it also starts to eliminate the smell and the flavor of the tomato. So you're getting a tomato that is not only mealy but pretty flavorless. So make sure that you store them room temperature. You can store them on your countertop along with some of your other fruits and vegetables there. So that's tomatoes, and highly recommend a caprese salad, which would be basil and mozzarella. You can also try burrata cheese, which is becoming very popular. It's a very delicate cheese. It's actually referred to kind of as mozzarella within mozzarella, and it's the outer portion is kind of like a mozzarella, but inside, when you cut into it, it's more of a ricotta texture. So it's very delicious. It's very popular. You can find it on a menu. Definitely recommend you order it. It's like a mix between a mozzarella and a ricotta, so it's really good. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we have these are black grapes, and these are very firm. These look like they're going to taste really good. There are a couple of things that you can do with grapes. Some people roast them. I'm not particularly a fan of roasted grapes or cooked grapes because I don't like the texture of them, but you can try roasting them if you do like the texture. One of the recipes that I actually found online for grapes that sounds really good for the summer is a black grape sorbet with a little bit of lemon zest and lemon juice, and it's just whip it up and put it in your freezer. It's really quick and easy, and something I'm actually looking forward to giving a try with these. So that's some black grapes there. Next we've got, I'm very excited about these. We've got, these are corn on the cob. I've been dying for corn on the cob ever since it started to get warm, and you can't find organic corn on the cob nearly anywhere. I look everywhere I go, and I have such a hard time finding organic corn. About 94% of the corn that's produced in the US now is pretty much genetically modified. So finding organic corn is really important for me. Most of the organic corn that I'm able to find is frozen corn, which is fine, but having corn on the cob has been something that I've been dreaming about for over a month now. So I was very excited to see that they were sending this. I was so excited that I actually ended up ordering extra ones, which is something that you can do with this CSA. So one of the tips I looked up about corn was how to remove the husks and the silk from corn. One of the really great tips that I found, which was all over the internet, was a process of cutting off the end of the corn and then microwaving it for about 2 to 4 minutes, and then you shake it and it should slip right off. I'm not too keen on microwaves, so that's something that if you're okay with microwaves and you use microwaves, go at it. The other tip for a non-microwave way of doing it is simply to take the outer, shuck the outer portion, and then to grab onto kind of the tassel and just pull as much of the silk off as possible, just in one fell swoop. So that has always been the way that I've done it ever since I was a kid, and that's the way I'll probably continue doing it. But that's just a little tip there for you. All right, let's see what else we have. We have some oranges. Oranges are great for orange juice, of course. But one of the things you might consider trying is you can make a marmalade. It's basically water and oranges and sugar. You can also do it, if you don't want to use sugar, you can also use honey in place of the sugar. And it's just like you can just boil it down, and there are recipes on the internet all over for how to make marmalade. Or you can also make something called orangette. Orangette is candied orange peel, and that similarly is you take the orange peel and you slice it up into little strips, and you boil it in water until it absorbs into the peel, and then you toss it in a bit of sugar, and then you can do a version where you dip it in some chocolate. So that's I've done that a couple of times. It's really good. Let's see. We also have we have some broccoli. Whoa, that's a lot of broccoli. Okay, so we have a lot of broccoli. This is really good, kind of like a midweek vegetable that we like to use. And one of the things is that this portion of the broccoli can be a bit rough. So when you're preparing it, some people, when I was a kid, we used to use just the tops and we would chuck all of this stuff away. And then when we grew up, we learned that you can actually eat this. So definitely want to utilize the entire vegetable. But since this portion is a bit rough, the thing to do is to take a potato peeler and peel off the rough outer layer to get to the tender portion. And then you can just chop all of this up and steam it or roast it. And then we like to toss it with a bit of Parmesan cheese and pine nuts, and maybe a little bit of garlic and olive oil. And that makes a really good way to kind of spice it up, so it's not just your plain old naked steamed broccoli. So there you go. Let's see. Okay, we've got some lettuce. This is a romaine lettuce, and I in the past have not been the most voracious eater of salads. My husband will definitely attest to that. I'm not a huge salad eater, but I found a recipe. I kind of adapted a recipe for buttermilk ranch dressing. That's really easy to make, so I make that at home now, and I'm eating salad every day. Just very simple salad, just a bit of lettuce and some tomatoes, some bell pepper, and some cucumber with the buttermilk dressing. It's delicious. I'll put it up on our website, the recipe, and make one batch and it'll last you about a week, and you will be, trust me, if you're into buttermilk dressing but the bottle kind just doesn't work for you, give this one a try. You'll be eating more salads, I can almost guarantee. So that's the lettuce there. Okay, green beans. I love green beans too. Green beans are actually surprisingly one of my favorite vegetables now. Hadn't eaten them for a while, and then I kind of decided, hey, I'm gonna just grab some green beans and tried them out, and they are delicious. There are a couple of tips that I have on my website which is Lifestyle Dynamics Online. I'll just mention that it's listed there below. But the website, there's a blog post all about how to spice up your vegetables, and a lot of those tips work really great for green beans. I did want to give you a tip about how to choose the right green beans. And what you want to look for is you want to look for a brightly colored bean. You don't want it to look leathery or wrinkled. And another great tip is when you take the green bean, you just take a green bean in your hands and you bend it. And if it can bend at like a 90-degree angle and not snap, that's a bad green bean. You don't want those green beans. So you bend it and it should get to a point where it actually snaps. And then you know it's good to eat and it's fresh. And these look actually very snappy. We've got some very snappy green beans here. All right, let me see, what else do we have? Getting towards the bottom, we've got some yellow nectarines. These nectarines I love nectarines. I actually like the yellow nectarines a lot better than the white. They sent the white ones, I think last time, which is 2 weeks ago, they sent white nectarines, and I didn't like them as much as I like the yellow ones. I think the yellow ones have a bit more flavor. But you can throw these, if you don't want to just eat them out of hand, you can throw them in a salad, maybe with some goat cheese or something like that. Or you could, if you've got the grill going, you could brush them with a little bit of maple syrup and just grill them off and have them as a light dessert, maybe with a side of some ice cream. Would make a really good kind of summer dessert. So we've got those. Let's see. And lastly, we've got some cabbage. Okay, so cabbage, I was actually excited to see this because I've been thinking off and on of making a cabbage salad, cabbage soup. I know it's summer, so soup isn't the best thing, but for some reason I've been craving soup and craving this cabbage soup with a lot of cabbage and some vegetables. Just basically, there's no meat in this. It's a really good, quick recipe, and I can share it with you kind of online at Lifestyle Dynamics Online. And the funny thing is, you want to definitely use, when you do your cabbage, you want to use a green cabbage, because using a red cabbage, I did that once and the entire soup turned purple. So that would be really fun for a Halloween soup recipe. Use a purple cabbage or a red cabbage, turn your whole soup purple, and it'll be quite entertaining for the kids. But so this cabbage would be really good for a cabbage soup. Also, fish tacos. My husband loves fish tacos, so it would make like a nice slaw or topping for a fish taco with a little bit of sour cream lime crema on top. We would do it with like a salmon, like a flaked salmon. Maybe, leftover salmon from the night before. You can just flake it into a corn tortilla and top it with a little bit of the cabbage and the crema, and it's really good. So that's about actually all we have now. So thanks so much for watching, and hope that you join us next time. Also check out our website, lifestyledynamicsonline.com, to stay tuned with more videos, as well as all the recipes and tips and things that I have mentioned. I guess that's it for now, and subscribe and enjoy your day.